3 games, Coach, is there anything you want to see, from your team as you kind of round out the regular season?
Well, I want to see us play our best ball. I don't think we played our best ball yet, and I think that we did some good things at different times this season, but I think our best ball is still in front of us, and I think we're a little bit more confident team now. So I'm just looking forward to seeing this team's ceiling on the court, and I think it's very possible that we can do that, and I think it's also much needed if we want to have a chance to have success these last 3 games, because they're all against quality opponents, obviously.
Coach, you talked about changing up the ball screen defense a little bit. Could you talk about David's role in that specifically, and maybe where you've seen him improve defensively?
Yeah, I don't know that the big guys have had as big a role as the rotations behind it, but David's done a better job of getting out to the level of the screen and certainly not allow a guard to attack him. And that'll be very important tomorrow going against McClung. That's one thing that he does great. He comes off a ball screen. If he can get downhill, then he'll try to attack the big. So David needs to be good in ball screen defense tomorrow.
Can you talk a little more about Mac, that now that you've seen him once and have some more film on him? What kind of matchup is he, and how do you guys kind of try to contain him?
Well, we actually, what did he get the first game? I don't know off the top. He got off to a good start, and I think we did a decent job on him. But the thing about it is with him, he's very good with the ball, and he can get a shot off 2 feet, and a good shot for him isn't a good shot for most players in our league. If you watch the West Virginia game, for instance, when he got 30, I mean, they guarded him. He would just rise up and make a shot or create just a little separation to do that. So we've got to be there on the catch. We can't get lifted, and we can't get split, and certainly stay down on shot fakes, because he's going to score. He's a scorer. I mean, he's averaging 21 a game or whatever the last 7 games. He's a scorer. So, we just got to limit his good opportunities.
Hey, Coach, the last couple of games, you guys have gone off to a little bit of a slow start in terms of scoring, 24 against Iowa State and Kansas State.
You must have read a book by Tony Robbins this morning. That was the most positive thing that I think anybody could say about our offense getting started the last 2 games. So,
yeah, I was just going to ask,
you're young, though. Do you even know who Tony Robbins is?
I've heard of Tony Robbins a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, back in
I was
our
just going to
era,
ask against Texas Tech. Obviously, they're a really good scoring team. What is the key for you guys to be able to score consistently, especially in the first half?
Well, I think get the ball where we want it to go. Hopefully be able to attack the paint either off the bounce or the catch, and make 40% of our open looks. I don't think it's a strange formula. I don't know that we need to do anything really a lot different other than make some shots against K-State. I won't say this about Iowa State, because Iowa State we weren't very good up there at all the first 10 minutes. But K-State, we actually got the shots we wanted. We just didn't make them early on, and so we've shown that we can do it, and we just been inconsistent, but certainly just being able to attack the paint off bounce and the catch, and be able to drive the ball downhill without charging. To the best team in our league at taking charges, them and Baylor. So we got to be good we got to be very cognizant of that.
Bill, it seems like you guys have had different things going at different times on offense, whether it's hitting shots or Dave getting on a roll or Jalen early in the season. But is there any rhyme or reason why you feel like those things haven't all kind of happened at the same time yet this year?
I don't think that we're a great passing team. I think that's one thing that we have guys that are open, and our confidence level and our vision, I don't think, has allowed us to get the ball where it needs to go as much to get easy baskets. But I'm going to tell you this. There's a lot of teams that labor to score a lot. We're one of those teams. But one reason why the appearance is that we're laboring to score as much is because we're not getting offensive putbacks right now. We're not scoring in transition. We're not getting things that you don't have to earn. We're not playing 3 against 2 or 2 against 1. We're playing 5 against 5, and that makes it harder. So I think sometimes offensive stats are a little bit misleading. If you play 5 against 5, nobody's going to shoot 50%. Nobody. the reason you shoot 50% is because you get some easy baskets that you don't have to earn usually. So we got to figure out a way to start generating. Well, we need to start generating that. I think we figure out a way to do it. And against K-State there in the second half, we shot the ball miserably against K-State. We got like 4 layups, and all of a sudden, instead of being, 4 for 12 and shooting 33%, you're 8 for 16 shooting 50. So we need to get more of those.
I've
Kevin
noticed.
McCullough did not play against you guys the first time. What does he mean to Texas Tech?
I think he is the glue. I think he is the steadying influence. I think he can guard anybody. He's got great size, a great rebounder. He's a good scorer. He can drive it. He can pass it. To me, that was a big miss for them by him not being able to play early in the season. They're definitely a better team with him out there.
Hey, a while back you talked about Tyon and Inaruna and just where they could be on this team in February. Now that you're here, where do you see those guys at, and what can they give you the rest of the way?
Just to be ready when their number's called. We've had all of November and December and January to prepare for this, and like with Tyon, he hadn't had a lot of opportunities, but also there hasn't been a consistency with that. Tristan's a little different to me. I still think Tristan can get in there and win us a game. And certainly I hope that to be the case, but I feel like that, pretty settled in on our top 7 and then hopefully Juan and Tristan can give us some great minutes as well. And then Tyon, if numbers call, just be ready, bud. But and it's not probably as fair of a deal with him, but I'm not going into the game thinking, how do we get him in? I'm going into the game thinking this is how we want to play. And then if he's called on, which if he is, just, hope it like heck he's ready and can do something positive. He's plenty talented enough, but he hasn't had many opportunities and we probably haven't looked as well or looked as good as what we could when he's been in there. And that's not all on him. But that's kind of the way it's been.
What was your reaction to allowing fans in the NCAA tournament?
When did that come out? So Gary, once again, you're breaking news. So I did not know this. So I'm glad you said that. I think it's great. Of course, I thought all along families would be able to attend, but this is good. So if you have a 70,000 seat arena, it means you can still put 18,000 in there or whatever. So I think, or 17.5. So I think that's a good thing, and certainly thankful for that. I don't even know what are we putting in ours now. Is it still 2,500 still the max? So it's not 25%. It's more like 15% if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's great. Have we heard about the Big 12? So the Big 12 had made a decision, but I bet the Big 12 falls in line with what the NCAA is doing.
NCAA was 25%, I believe.
Yeah, I bet I can't speak for the Big 12 or the Chamber of Commerce, Kansas City or anything, but or Kathy Nelson and all those folks. But I'm hoping that they can get 25% in there as well.
How does Bryce's return help DeJuan?
I hadn't thought about that in the terms that you brought it out. How does Bryce help everybody? But I think the one thing that Bryce has done, it's kind of lit a fire under DeJuan that maybe he could play a little bit more aggressively. So I think, and I hadn't really thought it through, but I do think Bryce coming back has created a little bit of a competition, and certainly. I think DeJuan is the beneficiary of that competition. So,
you said that the other night that you want DeJuan to look to be more aggressive offensively. What does that look like with him?
Make plays, drive downhill, shoot wide open shots. He's got a great runner. Got a great runner, a little jump hook. Get there, shoot it, score. I think all those things would help us. He's been, in my estimation, too passive offensively and also defensively. He just needs to turn up. And the other night against K-State, he scored 2 points. He dominated the game for about 7 minutes. I mean, he scored 2 points and dominate for a period of time. And so, and also Bryce had his moments where he was, arguably the best player we had, so I think that those two guys bringing that, and maybe the competition has kind of spurred that on. But I want Juan to look to make plays. If he's not going to be aggressive offensively and people aren't going to guard him, we're playing 4 against 5. But if he's aggressive, now we're playing 5 against 5, and now he can take advantage of running starts and his vision, because maybe people aren't going to crowd him, things like that. So he needs to do that.
Got time for a couple more.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, I know these last 3 games are big. Are you a big like motivational pregame speech guy, or you just keep it casual?
Shay, I've been doing this a long time, and I have found out over time that the motivational speeches need to be few and far between. Your team needs to be ready to go when it's time to go. And I think when you're in certain places and you're building and everything, the rah stuff is important. And I'm not saying that that's not important at certain times, but it's far more important to get rah stuff playing at a team that you're supposed to beat on the road with no atmosphere than it is to be a rah guy at home when you're playing, a team that could clean your clock, or a team that's already cleaned it once, i.e. Texas and Baylor. So I don't think that coaches should have to do much in those moments. Maybe calming talks in some of those times are actually better than the rah stuff. But to get a team really geeked up and juiced to go against, the 3 most favorite games of the year, which these 3 should be, I don't think I don't think a coach should have to do that, even though I'll have my, I'm sure, very meaningful and appropriate words, so to speak, but it won't be anything that anybody want to record or ever draw motivation from outside our room.
How do you think the home fans have been this year? I don't know about you, but as a student, I think they maybe could be a little louder out there.
Well, you know what? We can all be better. We can play better. I think sometimes our play also dictates how loud it is too. Chicken or the egg? Do we need to play well to excite everybody, or do they need to get excited to help spur us? I mean, but I think our fans have been fine. I think they have. My wife has spoken to this, that she feels like the student body was the best it was against Oklahoma State. So we need that to continue to go. So, and I will say this, since you're a student, I really feel like our best atmospheres that we've had in Allen Fieldhouse. Now, granted, it's been full, but the best atmospheres we've had have been triggered by you, the students. I think people will follow if the students get totally into it.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thanks.